Hello, if you found this message today, it was meant for you. We're going to talk about what is it about you that made you the one that they picked. What is it about you? Was it your smile? Was it your attitude? Was it something that you talked about? What exactly got their attention? Okay, so we have 3 piles here. We have number 1, 2, and 3. Pick the one that best fits you, best aligns with you. Okay, if you need to take a moment, pause, meditate on what best choice fits you, go ahead and do that now, and I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hello and welcome, group number 1. Hope you are as excited to be here as I am. We're going to see what is it about you that got your person's attention. What made them think this is in fact my person? I am going to approach them, talk to them, share my life with them, etc. So let's go ahead and get some cards out. We're going to get 4 of these tarot cards. Actually, we're going to get 8 of these tarot cards out. We're also going to get some oracle cards for you as well. I like to have the full tarot set out before I start reading cards. So give me just a moment to get the entire message out. We do not want to skip anything. Okay, we got almost all of them really quickly. Let's see, we got 2 more cards to go, and then we're going to pull the first. Ooh, Spirit is giving you a couple of cards. Should we do all 3 of those? Why not? Let's go ahead. Page of Coins, Knight of Cups, and the 9 of Wands coming in reverse at the end. Let's go ahead and get one of these cards. This is the Child of the Universe Oracle deck, okay? Oh, wow. One came out immediately. Earth. So I am immediately getting that this person grounds you, okay, with Earth. Let me go ahead and look up the meaning in this very large book, but don't worry, we're going to get to this real quick. That is crazy. 323. And we have the planet of oneness, Gaia, the 8th chakra, soul star. Okay. Be mindful of our beautiful home planet. Come back to Earth and stay grounded. Your work is needed here. We ourselves are the meaning I am that I am, and for no other reason. Take refuge in life itself with no referrals. Okay. Earth is the base, ground, foundation, and framework from which astrology is prospectively drawn. We don't seem to ever stop and consider our planet as an individual entity like that of the other planets in our solar system. We inevitably leave it out of the symbolic tools that we use to explain the universe beyond and within. We're always taught that the energies that beat down upon our little blue planet, but rarely ever consider the energy that emanates or radiates from the Earth itself in relation to its contribution to the whole. Consequently, we probably don't understand Gaia as much as we believe we do. The Earth is our inner identity, our deep needs, and how we are grounded. If we were to plot Earth in our natal charts, as a new element, it only brings us a positive new layer of information on which to work with. Earth believes like a cosmic anchor point of energy. It grounds the zodiac signs, planets, houses, and any other point it touches, and ultimately represents your earthly mission here on Gaia. This person, the reason that your person was drawn to you is because you were deeply grounded. They are deeply grounded by you. They feel like you just get them. They feel like they know that they have their wants and needs in life, but they maybe never verbalize them until they start to hang around you. Things just started to make sense. We have the Page of Wands in reverse and the 5 of Swords in reverse. There may have been some things that they were really passionate about before they met you, something that they really wanted to do and had been doing, but they had to fight for it for some reason. With the 5 of Swords in reverse, they may have stopped arguing with certain people in their life, stopped hanging out with certain people in their life because those people consistently had issues with the thing that they were really passionate about. They may have even stopped telling people about it. They were still doing their hobby. They're still doing the thing that they were passionate about, but they probably stopped sharing a little bit more. They felt like if they did, they would get judged. And they shared with you, and you just thought it was interesting. You asked them more, you were engaged, and that was something that they had not seen before or had not experienced in a while. They were used to the combative nature that other people had with them. So you having that different outlook really changed and helped them in that regard. We also have the Two of Swords in reverse, okay? So maybe it was not a choice to share. I'm getting a feeling that you may have caught on to their interest. Maybe they were trying to talk around it. Maybe you asked what they were interested in and they tried to, go around it like, oh yeah, I'm interested in whatever. And they were vague and it just came out in conversation. You just kept asking questions and asking questions. And regardless of whether or not it was something else that you also do, the conversation with you and how it went was very different from how it usually goes with other people. So they found that very engaging, a breath of fresh air, okay, and grounding, because they were able to express themselves fully with you. The Four of Cups, I feel like there may have been initially before this conversation a kind of pushback against you, not because of you, but because they were already dealing with this part of themselves that they did not want to share, okay? They were already dealing with that. They were already dealing with other people and like their issues. So they didn't want to get too close too quickly. They didn't want to maybe bring you around certain people, not because they didn't want you around, because they didn't want other people to make their comments of like, do you know what they're interested in? Do you know what they do in their spare time? They didn't want to get that feedback and have that interaction with other people around you. So they were kind of distancing for that reason. Yes, with the Six of Coins, they feel like that you give them something back, okay? They feel like you give them energy, inspiration, compassion. Like they have more of that with you because of the way you see them, okay? And you're very observant with the Two of Wands. So you're looking around, you're making choices about things, you're observing, you take things in. You don't just make quick, impulsive decisions. You take your time. That is something that they very much admire about you, okay? You really are thoughtful about things. You don't just go, oh, that's dumb. Oh, I don't want to talk about that, or I'm not interested. Like maybe you'll find out through conversation that something is more or less interesting to you, but you're not immediately going to go, oh, that's not for me. That's dumb. I don't like that. Like people like me don't do that. Like none of those judgment things. They never hear you say anything like that. I also feel like you help them with, maybe not literal money, but if this project produces anything fiscally, like, and again, it doesn't have to be directly money, it can be, but I'm thinking right now about like, if this person's really handy around the house, right? And they like making things, but they're not gonna have a project all the time. You kind of give them ideas of things to do or give them inspiration of how to make things better. Again, the idea like let's say they're really into carpentry, they like building things, and you may come in and say, oh, what are you making? And they're like, this thing. And you're like, oh, it would be cool if it had this, or wouldn't this be great? And they're like, oh, yeah, like they actually would. So you help them build on top of what they were already thinking. You help those things grow. You have a really good perspective, and it just comes from being curious. It never comes from like, again, I'm getting the feeling that you do not do this thing. Whatever this hobby or this interest isn't even something that you do. It's just something that you can cultivate interest in because they're interested in it. So then you end up sharing because you're talking about that shared interest, but your interest is more of just, this makes them happy, so I'm just going to keep it in mind and find ways to kind of have these conversations with them and create connection in that way. With the Knight of Cups, I do feel like they become more appreciative of you over time. Like those feelings just have kept growing. This is definitely like a more committed relationship. And it looks like that will probably continue because of how grounded this is. Like they're more and more trying to feel like you are more than just valuable in their life, you are necessary, because how else would they get this grounded feeling? Like, yes, people should be self-reliant, but having you there is such a plus. Like they're starting to find it harder and harder as the relationship goes on, imagining the relationship without you. And then we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay, so Nine of Wands in reverse. Again, they were having a little friction with the ideas and the things they were passionate about before you got there. And the Nine of Wands in reverse, like they were feeling worn out, and now that they are able to interact with you more, they are really feeling like you gave them new energy. You gave them a second wind, a second way to like a new perspective and a new way to interact with the things that they care about because of the way that you interacted with them. So the next card that we have, next oracle card, is She Who Whispers, Concha, Secrets, Confessions, and Confidant. So that goes along with what we were saying, right? Like, not that this was necessarily a secret, but that they're able to share more of this part of their life that other people didn't seem interested in before. So what does this say? This card reveals that all of us have secrets. It may be time to release yours now if they have become a burden. If you are concerned about being judged, look into your own heart first for compassion. Okay, so you help them find compassion for themselves. Sometimes we convince ourselves that our secrets are uniquely deep and dark. When we expose them into the light, we may discover others with the same fears. If someone has entrusted you with their secrets, honor their confidence. So they know that you will not go around and start telling people what they say or what about their projects. I don't feel like they're saying anything particularly anything that would particularly stand out. That's not really what they're worried about. But they do feel like there are certain things that they were getting criticized before, and you would never betray them by sharing those things with the people who are criticizing them. Like, you would never make them a target by sharing, like, oh yeah, we do this together. This is what we were talking about. This is the project they're working on, things like that. So number 24, winter. Go beneath the surface of activity, extroversion, and noise. Retreat, unwind, and cultivate harmony within. Okay. The number 24, 2, 4, or 6 may be important for you. Take that as it resonates. Okay. Do we have that card? Let's look more into it. Okay. So this again may be more of their perspective. Let's go ahead and take a look. It says, okay. Okay, sometimes the card says a little bit more. Relaxing renewal will bring you clarity that you seek. Tap into the subtle magic of winter now. When the earth sleeps still and silent under a blanket of snow, the natural world becomes purified and reset. Just as a luxurious night of deep sleep provides a necessary reset in the midst of a busy life, the stark winter months bless the landscape with a much-needed respite. Beneath the snow, trees are refreshing their vitality by resting in their annual dormant state. In the earth's subterranean dark and hidden places, bears are hibernating, snakes are slumbering, and seeds are settling in. This may be a message to meditate, relax, and carve out some quiet, alone time. Perhaps you need more sleep, or your body has been giving you a clear, insistent message to simplify your schedule so that you have enough time to sufficiently recharge your inspiration, motivation, and joy. If you're facing a choice or seeking a clear answer to a burning question, stop rushing or trying to force things. Instead, tap into silence, stillness, and space. When your body relaxes and your mind quiets down, the answers you seek will be there for you. As reluctant as you may be to admit it, the answer is often to wait and see. So yeah, I feel like being around you is restful. You are peace to them. You are grounding. You reset their nervous system. So they may not necessarily need more rest. You guys may not be like professional nappers, but the point of that card is saying that you give them rest. It's like a breath of fresh air being around you. They can be calm. They can just be themselves. And again, they got that very early on, that like you are grounding. You don't judge them. You make them feel safe. Okay, so I hope that resonated. If it did, like and subscribe. I am trying to get monetized here on the channel, and if you subscribe, the faster I get monetized, the faster I'll be able to give you individual readings here on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going live right now, but I'm not able to give individual readings. So like and subscribe below, and I will see you next time in the Empress's Court. Bye. Hello and welcome to the Exalted Empress Tarot group number 2. If you are here, you are in the right place. This message is meant for you, and we're going to find out what about you stood out to your person. So get excited. Group number 2. This may be some things that they have told you themselves. We will find out together. Okay, and I like to get the full message of the tarot cards out before I start reading, but yours came out pretty quickly, so we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll have some oracle cards for you as well. Let's get the first one now. This is from the Child of the Universe deck. Okay, Child of the Universe deck. I think this is the Rose edition, the Rose Quartz edition. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, we're getting a lot of planets today. I don't know what's going on with that. Saturn. There we go. Okay, so you may know your planets, your zodiac signs, things like that. So if that is your planet, your ruling planet, that may be especially important for you. Now go ahead and go to Saturn. One moment. This is such a large book. I don't think I've ever had an oracle deck besides this one that had anything close to this. But you know what? It is insightful. There's a lot of info in here. Let's see, Saturn. There we go. Karmic planets of limits and boundaries. Okay, 6th chakra, the 3rd eye. Saturn in astrology. Okay, connect with a higher spiritual perspective. In astronomy, Saturn is the last visible planet in our solar system to the naked eye, often symbolized as the boundary point where Earth-centric reality ends. Similarly, in astrology, Saturn is our celestial teacher governing the provinces of boundaries and limits. It represents our karmic life lessons, discipline, and responsibility. It's here that we must expand ourselves beyond the limitations of Saturn to find reprieve. Pushing through and ascending Saturn is the ultimate test. It is by far the most difficult planet of them all, okay? We're going beyond, but we are also still making sure we have our boundaries and things in place. Saturn is also the lord over passage of time, mindfully aware of traditions, learned patterns of behavior, wisdom, and life lessons that only come with the majesty of older age. This planet applauds the characteristics garnered through sheer hard work, perseverance, test of time, submission to authority, structure, and order. Okay, this is about boundaries. This person, I feel like, really felt that when they met you, that you understood their sternness, their boundaries, what other people may consider a harsh personality, okay? They feel like you really understood where they were coming from and why you needed space. There may have been times in the past where they had people who wanted to be really close to them, literally more frequently than they wanted. They may be someone who needs a lot of space, and you seemed very understanding of what their needs were in that case. We have the 7 of Wands in reverse. There may have been I'm seeing that they may have been a little jealous of you actually at first. You seemed a little carefree. You seem to be, having whatever social circle or way that they met you. They could tell that you were able to kind of be a free spirit, move around and everything else. They may have even found that a little annoying and frustrating, but that was coming from a place of like, I need to have these boundaries. I need to have this space. And this person just seems to be like free flowing and doing all this stuff. And that's irritating. But with the 4 of Swords, I'm seeing this is the card of rest. I'm saying that after time, they started to like really appreciate who you were because you managed to balance really well, being a free spirit, being able to move around the way you would like to move around, but still not crossing their boundaries. So still not forcing them to do stuff. If you were like, hey, do you want to do this or whatever? And they were like, no. They may have immediately been like, no, because they were waiting for you to be pushy or to try to force them or convince them or come with like a bunch of different arguments, and that never happened. So they really, really appreciated that. They really like took that in, was like, wow, like I didn't have to sit here and explain myself and give 74 reasons and do all these things. Like, I just said, no, that's not for me. And this person listened, despite the fact that you're really carefree. Somebody else that they were with beforehand may have also had a carefree nature, but then was like, why don't you ever want to do this with me? Why don't you ever want to do this as well? Why don't you this? Why don't you that? Why don't you... And they kind of just got used to that as the norm, and that was really just the norm for that person, and you showed them something different. We have the Seven of Pentacles also in reverse. So I feel like you made them feel like they wanted to start working on themselves. Beforehand, they were just like so focused on, I need people to not cross over this boundary. I need people to respect where I'm at, that they were maybe a little bit closed off, but they were like, this is necessary because otherwise people will just walk all over me. And you made them feel like it wasn't necessary, that they didn't need to go that hard and like protecting themselves and closing themselves off and all that kind of thing. With the Nine of Swords, yeah, there were a lot of like negative thoughts towards where things were going, how you guys were going to interact, how you would enjoy time together. Would you guys enjoy time together? I think they really saw you as something that was too good to be true. Like, there's no way there's someone this understanding. There's no way that this person could really understand my boundaries. There's no way that someone could understand when I get angsty, when they don't do A, B, C. And then you just kept proving them wrong. Like, you kept leaving space for them to behave the way they wanted to behave and to be themselves. And that allowed them to have space, again, to work on themselves and to communicate better, more effectively, and things like that, because you weren't immediately trying to get them to be different. The Fool, they really feel like you were able to move forward and start like a new type of relationship. I feel like they maybe have very similar relationships with an array of people. There may be a lot of conditioning of like, yeah, people are going to try to cross your boundaries. Like, those are the kind of people that they're around a lot of time. Maybe a family thing. It doesn't have to be really harsh. It's just like the people around are really into convincing others to do what they want to do. So they're constantly putting the walls up. They're constantly having to deal with like, who's going to come around the corner again and try to get me to do something that I told them no. 5 times. So you gave them a different perspective, and they can do something new, have a different type of relationship with you. 5 of Pentacles, and then a 9 of Pentacles. I'm not sure how this relates, but I also, at least to them, they feel like they are more financially successful with you. They're getting that from you. I'm not exactly sure how that's happening, but we have the 5 of Pentacles moving to the 9 of Pentacles. That's moving from financial insecurity or financial difficulty to like luxury status. So something about being around you in their mind, maybe you just inspire them to work harder. Maybe you give them that peace of mind so they can do better at whatever their skill set and their work is, whatever it is, they feel like you help them with that. Wow. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. I was focused on these two. I didn't even know it was a Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. There are 4 of them, 1 for each element. But the reason that this one is the slowest knight is because it's found foundation, so it moves the slowest. They feel like you guys are moving very slowly into the inevitable. The inevitable being a foundational, very grounded relationship. Okay, she who yearns, Desiree, yearn, long, pine for. Okay, so there may have been a time, there may have been a couple of stages of this attraction. Okay, so there may have been a moment at first. I love how these cards align with each other. There may have been a stage where the initial introductions, like I said, they were initially annoyed by you. They didn't really want to deal with you. They didn't understand their feelings towards you. They were like, ugh, this person. Free spirit, yay. Another person who's just going to like run all up and down my boundaries. And then they learned through exposure. So I'm assuming there's some sort of friendship group, or maybe you guys worked together in some way, probably in different departments, but they started to learn who you are. They started to learn who you really are. And they realized, oh my God, this is like the one person who does respect my boundaries without me having to push for it. And so you probably at that point already had a certain type of interaction with them. And so this kind of crankiness started to go away. And then it was desire. It was yearning. It was, I would like to get closer to this person, but I'm pretty sure I have told them to F off in some way or form so many times. I don't think they're going to be interested in me. So then they were like, well, fuck. Like, I already ruined this interaction. How is this supposed to get better? How is this supposed to grow in any way? So with this card, we have the message of this card is to commit fully to your wants or admit you are simply stuck in the mode of pining for what you cannot reach. I'm going to read this again. The message of this card is to commit fully to your wants or admit that you are simply stuck in the mode of pining for what you cannot reach. Your energy is at stake here. Will you shed yourself of what you do not need in order to gain what it is you really want? Are you unsure of your yearning? Wishful thinking has its place, but now is the moment to drive forward to your goal or set the goal aside. The moon is reachable if you dedicate the resources necessary. Okay, I think that's pretty self-explanatory and covers a lot of what we were just saying. This person really needed to overcome these feelings of I ruined it. I acted one way in front of this person and now they're going to think of me a certain way. They needed to take their inner understanding of the situation and how it evolved and move it forward in the physical, and they did that. So that is great. Let's go ahead and go to our last card. It's another oracle card, and we have 49 Scorpio. Be fearlessly intense, fearlessly. Embrace the shadow and stare into the void, and your world will positively transform. This is what that looks like. That's what the card looks like. Okay, let us go ahead. And you may be a Scorpio. This person may be a Scorpio. And 49 may be your age. It may be another important number for you for some other reason. And it also adds up to 13. So if that is an important number for you for some reason. And an angel number 4. So if any of those numbers are important for you, keep that in mind. It says, it's possible that someone with their... Okay, you could be a Scorpio, they could be a Scorpio. The mystery of existence is vast and unsolvable. While all lives contain beauty and joy, they also contain suffering and sorrow. Okay, so this goes back to the yearning card. If you can acknowledge the full spectrum, you will tap into vast power. This power will allow you to go deep into the personal healing, connection with others, and creative accomplishment. Scorpio's natural desire to go beyond the surface can sometimes result in a sense of loneliness, as if no one wants to go there with you, and consequently no one really gets you or sees you. This card may indicate that you feel this way now. If this is the case, know that there are others who would like to know your innermost feelings and thoughts, but you can't know them and they can't know you unless you endure the inevitable awkwardness and discomfort of establishing new and deeper relationships. Small talk and shallow conversation are some of the hallmarks of first making contact with others. Be patient and eventually you will discover and establish relationships that are for you, okay? Be patient and eventually you will discover and establish the relationships that are for you, okay? So that's what they needed to do to begin with. And this card may also be a message to stop reading too much into the thoughts and behaviors of others. As real as your assumptions may seem, you are not a mind reader. Let go of stress or worry to the related stories that you are making up about what others are thinking. So for you, your mental power to think about truer and more interesting things. If you can become more at ease with the ripples and waves of the surface of the sea, you will be even more empowered to dwell in the vast and beautiful deep. So unlock the alchemy of positive change. So that's just the universe reprimanding them for not doing what they needed to do, which was to give you time to show who you are, okay? They have dealt with the same kind of interaction with people for so long, they started to say everyone does this. But by giving you time, which was less a choice of theirs and more happenstance, but over time they did learn and they did take that in that you are not who they initially thought. And they start making assumptions and theories about you and acting at you for who you actually were. So that resonated, which I hope it did, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's court. I am trying to get monetized here so I can do individual readings on live with you. Okay, so if you enjoyed this and you would like an individual reading, the best thing to do would be to subscribe and help me get monetized so I can do that for you. So that resonated and I hope I did. I will see you next time in the Empress's court. Bye. Hello, group number 3. You are in the right place if this deck looks familiar for you, and we are reading today about what is it about you that drew your person to you? How do they know that you were the one that they wanted to have a relationship with? We are going to find out right now. Okay, so I like to read with all of my tarot cards out before I do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to get you 8 tarot cards, and then we're going to go to the oracle cards in order to get some more in-depth information as well. Okay, so it looks like Spirit is going to take its time getting your cards out. The cards of the other 2 decks just flew out. Okay, so that may be a sign. Let's see, we're gonna have more thoughtful people. Not that the other people aren't thoughtful, but you may be someone who likes to sit and ponder on things. Let's go ahead and see. Whew, let us go ahead and see. Truly, like, truly, truly, truly. This card, sorry, this card really felt like it needed to come out. Sorry, this one's taking a little bit to get these cards out, so I don't know. I think you need mood music. Hope you don't mind me humming along. Oh, looks like you have this other card. Look at that. And it is a 2 of Swords. A choice. A choice. Can't wait to get there. So we can have the whole story about what choice your partner had to make. I'm assuming this is your current partner. It's maybe someone that you just met, but or someone you've just started seeing more frequently. Of course, now we have 2 cards come out, and your cards are a little uneven. That's okay. We'll let that one in as well. Let's go ahead and draw. This oracle card, I have not used this deck in a while. The Sun. Do not confuse this with the Sun from the tarot. If you are familiar with those cards, this is an oracle deck that has all the planets in it. So the Sun is included in that. So let's go ahead and see what this oracle deck says about the Sun. And we're doing 253. 253. This deck is quite extensive. I don't even know how many cards it has in here. So yes, this is a very big book for these cards. Okay, Sun, 3rd chakra, the solar plexus, planet of expression, energy, and ego. Okay. Interesting. Yes, so it rules Leo. Interesting. This is a little bit different than the descriptions I got for the other cards. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to read it. Oh, there you go. Seize your place in the universe. Have confidence in your decisions, judgments, and actions. The Sun, also known as a star or luminary, represents the luminous self, personality, ego, identity, and one's individual spirit. It's the most powerful body in our astrological skies, taking up 99% of the mass of our solar system. It gives us vital life force energy that imbues us with warmth, strength, energy, and individual will. He speaks to our creative abilities and the way in which we express ourselves as human beings. Through the will of this planet, we learn to manifest ourselves in the world by being, not doing. I'm going to read that again. Through the will of this planet, we learn to manifest ourselves in the world by being, not doing, okay? The Sun commands authority as it sits in the center of our solar system with every planet orbiting around its gravitational pull. It's a masculine energy that lords over our pocket of the universe, giving power to all other planets, which is why it plays a key role in astrology. Okay. Your partner may be a little into themselves, but you may like that about them. They draw people in. They're very confident. They have a certain demeanor about them that you like, okay? What they like about you is how you play off of each other. You may be a very reserved person. You may be very to yourself, but you still get them. And you don't play to their kind of ego thing that they do. They may have really enjoyed speaking to you at well, they may have been frustrated, but they also may have enjoyed talking to you because it was sort of like a game. They were able to interact with you in a way that they don't get to interact with other people, because other people will take their big personality and try to match that big personality, and you did not change in order to match them. Instead, you were like, oh, that's cool. This is who I am. And you also didn't push them away. You didn't try to be all like, oh, you're superficial and I'm real and none of that. You were just like, okay, this is who you are. This is who I am. And that's cool. And they were like, huh, that's different. The Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah, they know who their friends are. Their friends probably are more like them. And you kind of change their mind really quickly. After a couple of interactions, they may have been like, this person's kind of hard to talk to. This person isn't telling me how cool I am or how fun I am. Like, maybe you were, but you weren't doing it in the way that they were used to. So that probably to them registered as like being disinterested in them as a person. But then you started to change your mind, and they were like, huh, this person, I just need to engage with them in a different way. And that was fun for them. That was cool for them. They were like, huh, this is different, interesting. With Temperance, that is two things mixing that don't normally mix. So a lot of people around them may have, honestly, their friend group may not have been a fan of you. And they were like, no, we need to keep bringing this person in because I like this person. I like the way they interact with me. I like that they're different. And I want to keep having these interactions. With the Knight of Cups, they came in at some point as like the romantic hero, and they brought in all the stops. So you may have felt, swept off your feet by this individual. You may have really felt pursued by this person. And I think for a lot of the people watching, you were pursued where this person was male or in their divine masculine. Doesn't have to be, but I think they really were like, this person's so different, but I have to get their attention. I have to be around them. That's how Leos are. They're like, I have to be around this person and I have to get them to see me. And I've decided that this interaction, the way that we interact is the way I want to continue to interact with them. I want to keep them around, and I have that romantic attraction with this individual. With the Four of Cups, you may have actually even at first turned them down. They're trying to woo you, and you're like, that's okay. You have a big personality, you're cool, but you're not who I usually date. And they decided that was wrong and that they weren't going to give up, which is kind of cute and endearing in its own way. With the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse, they were probably very surprised by the way that you have your stuff together, not because they didn't recognize and know that you had your stuff together, but because you just do so many things differently from how their friends do things, from people that they know do things. You were just so different in their eyes. They were just like, wow, like this person is just nothing like anybody else that I hang out with. With the Two of Swords, again, they had a choice. They could pursue you 100% and let everybody know that they were definitely going in a different direction with the connections in their life, or they could keep on keeping on. And it would have been nothing for them to keep on keeping on and date someone who was like them, like how they always dated, but they chose something different. They chose you. They wanted to be around you, a new person, a new relationship, a new kind of connection for them. At the Star, I think you end up healing something for them. It wasn't something big that they felt stressed out about. It was just like a completely different energy. And they moved from this Nine of Cups to the Knight of Wands. Their feelings for you, it was very romantic. They developed them and they pursued them, but the Knight of Wands, it became more passionate. And they felt more connected and driven to be with you and to make that very clear everywhere. You may feel like they almost like announce that they're with you a little too much, or like, people know. People know, they're aware, but that's just kind of the way that they show that they care. They're like announcing, this is my partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, what have you, whatever you call each other. They let everyone know all the time. Make it very clear, because that's how they show they care. Even if you're around people who have met you together like a million times and it's completely unnecessary, they don't care. You're gonna keep announcing it. She who brings light, Blanche, light, serenity, beacon. Okay. So they are the sun, but they still may feel like you were the one that brings light into their world. Let me go ahead and read this card. This card's message is to assure you that you are whole. The answer you seek is already dancing in your own spark of life. If you feel drained and restless, now is a good time to fuel yourself with food and nourishes and replenishes you. Enjoy vegetables from the garden that have been supercharged by the sun. Creativity needs to be fed as well. Go to those places where you can connect with the things that ignite you. If your normal creative outlet isn't giving you what you need, try something different. Imagine yourself peacefully accepting all the energy of the sun, taking only what you need. You become a beacon for other seekers. You not only reflect the brilliance, you are emanating light. This card calls you to understand your own warmth, your own glow, and your own brilliance. Okay, so you are bringing in all the things. This person feels like light coming off of you. It's a different type of light, right? They bring the light of the sun, and it pours into you. And I see this soft glow that you reflect back onto them, okay? You give them their energy back, not by meeting them where they're at with their very intense light and spotlighting and kind of ego stuff that is endearing for you, but with the soft glow in return. I see you, I am present, and I can give you the energy back and that acknowledgement back, maybe not being as boisterous about it, but there's still that care and loving there, and they feel that. 22 spring, this is a new beginning for you. Something beautiful and hopeful is being born, okay? Spring. I love this. You have such a beautiful message here with such a funny and silly partner. Don't show them this video. Okay, let's see. Number 22. This is a new beginning for you. Seeds are sprouting, flowers are blooming, the ice of winter is melting, and something beautiful and hopeful is being born anew. As winter transforms into summer, we are blessed with the springtime and the whole world comes back to life. When the god of the underworld Hades abducted springtime goddess Persephone, Persephone's mother, the harvest goddess Demeter, made the world barren and cold. She refused to allow anything to grow. Eventually, Persephone was restored to the land of the living, but only for half of the year. This half is the bright half, the expansive half, as the growing season when everything is green and alive. Persephone's return is famously heralded by daffodils, some of spring's earliest blooms. Similarly, you are undergoing a renewal. Something wonderful and new is being born, or something that seemed lost or beyond your reach forever is returning to you in profusion. Like Persephone, you can retain the vast inner wisdom that you have gained through your time in the underworld. Entering into the fresh new conditions in life or love does not mean you have to adapt a false cheerfulness or a naive trust. After all, Persephone is the goddess of spring, but also the queen of the underworld. Even while she is skipping barefoot through the soft grass, she contains multitudes and polarities. She is both youthful and ancient. Her bright blossoms dazzle even while her looming wisdom goes deep. Joyful enthusiasm leads to upward growth, expanded to a beautiful new role, blessing, or relationship. Even positive change can sometimes bring fear, but if you consciously relax your body, quiet your mind, and breathe deeply, any fear you may feel will reveal its true identity as exhilaration and excitement. Let your spirit of adventure carry you from fear to freedom, okay? No one knows what will happen next, but you would be wise to assume it will be something wonderful indeed. For expectation is magnetic. You have much to look forward to. Embrace the positive changes. Feel the happy anticipation. Open your eyes to a brand new day. And that's what they feel like around you, that they open their eyes to a brand new day. You are not naive. You are quiet. You are sure of yourself. And you keep some things close to your chest. And you're able to show them a different way to hold yourself and to bring your knowledge and wisdom forward. And they're surprised by that. And they're surprised by that every time they're with you. And they appreciate that about you. And yeah, that is all I have. But I think that there's a lot of light here between the two of you. So I hope that resonated. If it did, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's court, either here on YouTube or over on TikTok. I am right now on a mission to get monetized on my lives so that I can do individual readings for you guys here on YouTube. If that sounds interesting, the more people I get subscribed, the faster that happens, the faster I can bring you those individual messages. So either way, I will see you next time in the Empress's court. Bye.